David, what was your reaction when you first heard the Supreme Court ruling?
Well, certainly I, like many gun owners across the country, were happy with this ruling. It does a few important things from a lawyer's perspective. It really gets rid of the judicial-made scrutiny analysis and returns the analysis when looking at gun laws to the actual text of the Constitution and the traditions and history of firearms ownership in the United States that pertained at the time of the founding. This is a big win for the Bill of Rights. It's a big win for gun owners. It really is setting out a clear path for the protection of other rights enshrined in the Bill of Rights.
What do you think comes next? I mean, do they have to change the laws in the states in order for it? I mean, they're called may issue states. You have to jump through certain hoops to qualify for a gun. Does that have to be written to be changed? And if so, how long might that take?
Well, certainly those laws are ripe for challenge now.
Yeah.
Certainly states could take it upon themselves to decide that in order to conform with this opinion that they could repeal those laws, or they could choose not to enforce laws that they know are clearly unconstitutional in light of this opinion. Or it may take, and I suspect this will be the case, gun owners challenging those statutes, because I think you'll see, and you've already seen in some of the reaction by certain politicians today, that they are not going to give up the effort to control gun ownership in the United States very easily, despite this decision.
Yeah, David, and Vice President Kamala Harris also weighing in today about the Supreme Court ruling. Let's take a listen.
We, the president, myself, many of us are deeply concerned and troubled by the Supreme Court's ruling today. It, I believe, defies common sense and the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah, David, lots of similar words right there to what we heard or what we read in President Biden's statement. So clearly there's a bit of a script going on there from what it seems. And she, like President Biden, says that it defies the Constitution. Yet, of course, the justices, the Supreme Court justice said the rule itself, the law itself, was unconstitutional. Your reaction to that kind of dichotomy?
Well, Justice Thomas brilliantly explained this in his opinion. You're not looking, what he says, you have to look at the actual text of the Constitution when interpreting a law that infringes upon a right, where the statute or the Constitution itself says shall not be infringed. That's a very simple argument. That's a very simple way of looking at it. And frankly, that is the way that the founders intended us to interpret laws, rather than having these judicial glosses put on these levels of scrutiny that have developed over the last 40 to 50 years that really have no foundation in the Constitution. They're judicially made up laws that have allowed jurisdictions, whether it's the state or local city jurisdictions, county jurisdictions, to put restrictions in place on gun ownership and gun possession for law-abiding citizens. And this decision says, no, in order to now analyze that, you now have to go back to the text of the Constitution, which would make sense to anybody. If you want to know how much money you need to pay in your mortgage, go look at your mortgage documents. Don't go ask your neighbor for an interpretation.
Fair enough. David Warrington, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You as well.